Hello everyone and welcome to Long's Toys. I have a Transformers Robots in Disguise review for you. This is Warrior Class Megatronus. As you can see, he is only available at Toys R Us. And this is part of the kind of Clash of the Transformers. I don't know what that label really means. I think it's just this guy was featured primarily at the end of the first season. He kind of showed up, started causing all kinds of mayhem, and they had to fight him off. But I believe the Clash of the Transformers, added moniker there is basically so they can resell, or selling like Energon versions of, I believe, Sideswipe, Optimus, and I think Bumblebee, and maybe even, why am I blanking on her name? Strongarm. Sorry about that. They might even be featured. These packages don't really feature other characters, which they should. Directions on this side. Cool picture over here on the side. But yeah, they got kind of powered up with Energon at the end of the season, and that's how they were able to beat this guy. So I think they're like redecoed, slightly retooled versions of the original figs. There you go. That might be it, or is that... Get that to focus. Yeah, see how he's just got like a little bit of blue on his chest, and there's a little bit of blue on his shoulder pads and stuff. Blue lines. So it's the same figure, just kind of a Energon-esque version. In any case, I'm rambling. I'm going to go ahead and pop this guy out of the packaging and we'll take a closer look. Here's Megatronus out of the packaging, and I gotta say, I love the look of this guy. His color scheme is fantastic. He's got kind of a light gray, a gunmetal gray, and then he's got purple and kind of teal accents. It just looks absolutely fantastic. He looks pretty good from the back. A little hollow here in the hands, or I should say in the forearms, just because that's where the hands disappear to for the transformation. And it almost feels a little hollow in the back of the legs, but again, it's transformation. It's no big deal. But I love the look of him. I really, really do. He looks tough. He's ready for, ready to rumble. Really, really do like the aesthetic of the robot mode. Only complaint, I do like the head sculpt, and I'll try to zoom in a little bit here so you can see it better. He's got kind of like a, slits, almost like a knight's helmet is what it reminds me of. And I do like it a lot. But in the show, that kind of, they kind of split down the center and revolved a little bit to the side and up. And then he had normal eyes. And I kind of wish either you could move it back and forth. That would be the best. Or I would have liked the normal face. I mean, I do like this face, but I would have absolutely loved it if you could have just, even just to like revolve the whole piece, just tilted back or something to reveal eyes. I think that would have been a really, really cool feature. I understand, for money constraints and everything and just size of the head, it might not have been possible, but that would have been a really neat feature. He does come with one accessory, little kind of sword blade here. It is obviously all one color. He can either hold it in his hand, very simply like that, or you can clip it underneath. If you see right here, between this piece and this piece, you can go ahead and clip that on. Just fits in just like that. And then he just kind of has a cool bladed arm weapon there. Pretty neat. I'm going to go ahead and just remove it for now. We'll get into the poseability. He's got a ball joint for the head, so side to side and back and forth. The shoulders have a little bit of movement where I think there's a ball joint in here where it meets the hip. Maybe it is just a... It can't really go up or down. It just moves around. But he does have a little bit here and here. And then there's these clips in here. Now, they worry me a little bit because they kind of remind me of the clips, and the elbows have them too. Grimlock's, like, elbow hips is kind of what they remind me of. So I'm a little worried they're going to snap one day. But that could be a, completely crazy thing to worry about, but I do know a lot of people had that problem with Grimlock's elbows. So hoping they kind of refined it for this. So you have the in and out right here. You have a swivel right at the bicep, and then you have the same kind of clip in the elbow. The hands don't really have any articulation because they just fold back to, transform. But you do have the up and down here in the shoulder, and then kind of an around like that. So pretty much the amount of poseability you'd want in the shoulder there. The waist, you can turn 360. In the hip, you have a ball joint. So you can go up, down, around, out to the side. thigh swivel right there. A little bit more than 90 degrees at the knee, and then that's it for the legs. The rest of them are pretty stationary. So I have to say, as far as a warrior class goes, it's got all the articulation you'd want, and he looks really, really good. We'll go ahead and we'll jump into the transformation. Alright, so the transformation is pretty simple. If you want, you can include this. You just go ahead and clip it back in, and I'll show you in a minute. But very first thing you're going to do is just swing both of those hands back, and you just hide them like that. Then you're going to rotate this around, and then they're just going to fold up into the shoulders just like that. Very simply. And I'll have to move this up a little bit. The front of the chest is going to rotate down, and then the head is going to rotate back, just like that. And then you're going to turn these and bring them around into the front. The two arms will come together and become the cannon of the tank. Now at this point, if you like, you can just go ahead and leave it like that. If you would like to include this, you just pop this open, and you go ahead and you pop this in, just like that. And you can tell the little tab on the sword is going to go right up against that piece right there. And then you just go ahead and sandwich these back together. So that's up to you. It kind of gives the gun turret like a bayonet kind of feel. So that's completely up to you. If you like it, you can go ahead and include it in there. Otherwise, you can just leave it off. Not a big deal. Then you're going to go ahead and turn this 180 so that these kind of butt missiles are pointing to the front now. You're going to go ahead and swing the legs out to the side. You can see here there's a big channel on both pieces. And that's going to tab onto these two tabs right here. So you're just going to go ahead and plug those in very simply. They tab in nice and strong, just like that. Then you're going to take the kind of knee guards and you're going to rotate them like this. That will make it so the next part of the transformation is possible, but it also lines up these kind of missile salvo pieces. So you do that on both sides, and then you're going to take the foot and kind of rotate that up, and you can see the hinge piece there, and that's just going to rock back and then clip into place, and do that for the other one as well. Very simple. And then there you go. You have a pretty excellent little tank mode. It's a very simple transformation, but it's very satisfying, and I definitely think it looks good. It doesn't just look like the robot kind of put his hands at the front and then sat down. I think they did a pretty good job of hiding the robot bits. I personally don't need the bayonet piece, so I kind of like to just take it out. It's very simple to do. You can just open this up, pop it out, and then close this right back again. I kind of just like a normal tank with a normal turret there. So yeah, I really like it a lot. I mean, it does have wheels, as you can see, and it rolls fairly decently. But yeah, I have to say it's a nice tank mode, and the turret can spin because it's just the normal hip rotation. So it serves two great purposes there. But I really, really like this tank mode. It's simplistic, but it totally works, and it just looks great. And again, the color scheme works perfectly. You have the purple accent, a little bit of teal accent, and then you've got a light gray and a gunmetal gray. And it really, really just works. Looks fantastic. I have to say I really love this figure. I love the look of him. I love both his robot and his tank mode. His little weapon accessory is nice. I love his color scheme. I just love everything about this guy. Very, very cool. The only thing I'm somewhat worried about is the kind of shoulder and elbow joints, and that's only because of what people have been known to have with the same similar joints in Grimlock. But assuming they keep up, that's this is a perfect figure. I just really hope nothing ever happens to those joints. Like I said, to have the exposable eyes with the visor would have been an awesome touch. I understand why they couldn't make that happen just because of budget and size of the figure and everything, but I just think if I could add anything to the figure, that's what I would do personally, but I don't think it suffers for not having that. So I absolutely recommend this guy. If you can find him at your local Toys R Us, definitely pick him up. He's definitely one of the best Rid figures we've gotten so far. I think Season 2 of Robots in Disguise is going to start in this spring, so maybe in a month or two, March, April, something like that. So I'm excited to see what happens in the next season. Don't know if we'll be seeing this guy again on the show, but I kind of hope so because he's pretty awesome. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. Please like and share this video. Please subscribe if you haven't already. I hope you've enjoyed this look at Warrior Class Megatronus from Transformers Robots in Disguise, and thanks for watching.